Hey guys, how are you? It's Emily. I am late again with this reading, and I'm back to doing a voice recording because my video recording took literally all day to upload yesterday. I almost died from it. It was terrible. And also, I'm just exhausted, and I had jujitsu earlier, and then I went on a run, and then I took a shower, and honestly, like, I'm just not fit for public viewing, so here we are. Um, this is going to be our daily wisdom shot, but I'm using my 17 card spread that I use for the monthly, or that I was using for the September card reading special. So that special ends on September 30th, which is tomorrow. I will still take orders through tomorrow at midnight, but then it is going away. $25 for this same spread, but obviously for you personally. I did the spread for the collective, for whatever we needed to know. And so the bottom of the deck is the transformation card. Obviously, hugely transformative energies happening for everyone. This is not a shock. This is not new news. But I feel like it's just kind of, it goes in cycles, it ebbs and flows, and we're kind of hitting a high point again. So, I'm getting that, a lot of us are finally receiving or putting the work in. We've been putting the work in on the healing, right? But we're allowing ourselves to receive in a way that helps us to move forward. It's unblocking us. And it's big healing that we're getting right now. This is not like little stuff. This is like huge transformative healing. Some people are moving forward out of childhood. A lot of it is childhood issues. Some of it is past life issues. Some of it is simply mental blockages that have come up throughout the years but begin in childhood. You're definitely moving forward out of darkness into the light, and you're breaking down the kind of stalemate that you have been in. This sort of fear of moving forward, you're now doing it. You're moving forward. And your counterparts are too, or complements, however we want to talk about them. Because this is a group reading. This is for everybody. I feel like this is also about busting through some of the conventional wisdom that is not really wisdom at all, but just old paradigms. I feel like things that we trusted in or understood as fact are no longer serving us. Like, they're literally no longer considered to be fact. And it's like we are operating by different rules now. And it's like everyone is. Not everyone is operating by the same rules that we are. This is a time of, like, I'm just seeing it's almost like a vase that's dropped and shatters on the floor. All these different pieces are going in their different directions, and they're like all different. So different groups are operating by different rules right now, and they're going to kind of order themselves based upon the kind of vibration that they're holding, and who is holding the high vibration and therefore moving forward in the higher timelines, who's holding the lower vibrations and moving forward in lower timelines. But in any case, a lot of what people are going through right now is causing them to break from tradition. And it may not be in the same way that we are breaking from tradition, but they are breaking from tradition nevertheless. And this is destined. Like, this is justice. This is the way that things were supposed to work out. regardless. So whatever kind of whatever kind of chaos that you feel going on around you in a microcosmic and a macrocosmic way, all of this is destined and is in service to balancing out the planet, the universe, society, yourself, etc. And it's not to be feared at all. This is a balancing of the scales, and it's not personal. It's actually very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very objective. So I also feel like there's definitely an opportunity for us to step back a little bit and move inward again, in order to, and it's going to feel like if your divine complement is doing this, you're definitely going to feel a little bit left out. You're going to feel a little bit blocked. But or if you're doing this to them, they're going to feel a little bit blocked. But it's actually important so that you can, again, be able to bring all of this into balance, and you can actually allow for greater flow in the near future by taking the time to back up and accept the healing that's coming in right now. Some of them, I always read this card. It's it's supposed to be like the 5 of coins, right? In this deck, it's called Financial and Material Changes. I freaking always read it as financial and marital changes. And I look at it with the hand with the rings on it, and I swear, like, it almost always comes up in the case of like divorces, because I don't know, I guess it's because this is how my subconscious reads it, and therefore it comes out in my readings in that way. So if you're going through that right now, or if, your complement is going through that right now, just know that this is obviously a balancing and a healing period where you or they or both of you may need some time out. And it's really a time out after this very difficult situation. And so I think that a lot of compassion is really in order right now for that particular situation. Moving down the line, we have the Devil card, which is called Temptation in this deck. And I feel like, and below it we have partnerships and alliances, and I kind of feel like this is like it's right next to the Justice card, the Balance card, and I really feel like this is the balancing of those karmic scales. Above it is this divorce thing happening, and whether that's a divorcing of, a literal divorce, or like a leaving of a job situation or a career, or potentially even a leaving of a blood family situation. A lot of people are, again, redefining their values, redefining their situation and their, what did I call it before? Why are words hard? Words are hard. Redefining their rule book, basically. And it's not going to include some of these people moving forward because they're not on the same timeline. They are just not in the same trajectory. It's not their fault. Maybe it is their fault for some of them. I don't know. But in general, it's not their fault. This is not a thing that's going to continue. So what I'm getting from these cards is that these partnerships and alliances are really being reevaluated right now and released as part of this transformation that's occurring. And I almost feel stupid like saying that because we have said it so many times in the past. But again, these things are going through in cycles, different groups of people go through it, cycles within cycles. And it's going to keep coming back around because that's the nature of life. It's all a cycle. So this will come up again in a number of weeks when a new group of people is going through it, or or the same group of people in a different way, or in a more intense way, or in a more pointed way. So that's why we keep having to talk about these same subjects. Third column, the healing that's happening right now, a lot of it is having to do with the throat chakra, which with being able to be clear on your truth. And a lot of it is having to do with the base chakra, which is, to me, in this situation, being really honest about your stability, the stability of your situation. So these are things that we're all clearing at this moment, and as they heal to move forward, we get all of the amazing things that are being shown in the rest of the cards all the way out. So the first one is fulfillment of wishes. Sorry, the first one after this base chakra card is fulfillment of wishes, and then after that is harmony, which is the Lover's card. And so to me, this feels like a lot of twins coming into union at this time, after this clearing of the karmic situations, and after this like understanding of the truth, and confronting one's own stability and what that means, what that really means to them. And this space chakra is right next to financial and material changes. So to me, that's saying, what is your real stability? Is it, staying in a job that you freaking despise? Or is it biting the bullet, moving forward into something that you resonate with, and therefore will bring in greater abundance? So getting clear on these things, I think, is helping to create this fulfillment of wishes, and allowing this union to occur for some people. Next card is Love Begins. So it allows this new beginning on the emotional plane, in whatever situation. Like, not everybody who listens to my channel is a light worker, twin flame, starseed, or any of those things. I have plenty of people who are just awesome people, and so these same clearings may be occurring, and it allows you a new beginning in the emotional realms. If you are a light worker or twin, you may be experiencing this through your union. And also, the crown chakra card is here, and I'm really feeling that as like an extension of the Love Begins card. To me, that's your connection to the divine. That is the necessary ingredient to being able to move forward in all of these ways. You can be as connected as you want and be as telepathic as you want with another person. You can be having crazy ascension symptoms and think that your chakras are purging 24/7 and etc., etc., etc. If you do not have this open connection with the divine, you are not ascending. That is 100%, that is your source of higher vibrations. So it doesn't really mean, like, when I say divine, that's like my way of talking about God. If you don't believe in that kind of God, that's fine. That's totally fine. It's just like, this is your connection to those higher vibrations, and you need to have it in order to really be having this authentic experience. Because that's what this is all about. This is all about bringing our vibration up to that place so that we are consciously co-creating and consciously moving into a higher vibratory timeline, which is all about the connection to the divine. Next, we have Foundation and Achievements. It's actually the card that is the same as the Four of Wands, which is another union card, and below that the Two of Wands, which I have also seen used as another card of union, because you have your two flames, your two spiritual cards. I don't know at what point this whole thing became about twins, but for whatever reason, this reading keeps going there. So let's just go with it. But I just really feel like, we're getting into alignment to laying the firm groundwork to being able to manifest this in the physical plane, through our connection to the divine and through our unconditional and self-love. So once those things are all in order, we've been able to continue through this healing of the throat chakra and the base chakra. We've released karmic debts. Then we are in perfect alignment to be able to manifest this situation. I feel like whenever I do these are like really short time frames in general, like generally about a week. So I'm not saying that like everyone is going to be there in a week, but for a certain group of you, this is happening like now. This is happening fast. And for another group of you, it's still happening in the near future, but it might be more like a month to 2 months, sometime until the end of the year. I feel like this could stretch until the end of the year. So please feel free to ask questions, like, comment, share. Let me know your thoughts on this. I usually keep these readings a little shorter, but I just finished some privates, so I figured why not just do the same reading for everybody else. I so appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all the comments that you're leaving, because again, it helps me to know that someone's listening and it's helping someone, and it makes it worth my time doing it. And it also helps me to because I don't always hear what I'm saying when I'm saying it, when I'm recording these, and it almost drives the points home when I hear you guys talk about it, as weird as that sounds. I just really, really appreciate all of you, and I look forward to doing these every single day. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.